Okay, K2 and Everest, you should be cleaned up by now. Right now, what I want us to focus in on is our slideshows and how we are going to present those. So I'm just keying in on our level 4 here, and unfortunately, I did not update this, but I have it printed out accurately, but I forgot to update this one. This one's a little bit of an old one. It's very similar, but just listen very carefully because a couple of our boxes have changed. I have it printed correctly, so when I go through and grade, it'll be accurate. But your multimedia campaign is present and detailed. It includes 3 or more pieces of information that describes your ecosystem arena. It includes the matter cycles and energy flow along with organism interactions. It also shows that you've equally contributed to your slideshow, your team's slideshow. That would be creating 1 to 2 slides each. Not just making the title slide. That would not be equally contributing to your group. Presentation is organized and easy to follow. You have appropriate visuals and your text is clear. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on your slideshow, and it should work out as you are creating your own slides, okay? I do want to point out that block text is a level 2, right? So what block text means is that I have, like, let's see, right here is a piece of block text. This huge, like, paragraph here just makes it almost looks like a square or a rectangle here of just words, okay? That is very distracting when you are going to present. So what I always recommend doing is changing it into shorter, like, statements instead of complete sentences on your slides, and creating like a bulleted list when appropriate. Including pictures would be another great way to avoid a too wordy or very block text slideshow. So if you're in charge of talking about how the energy flows in your ecosystem, you might insert a picture of your poster, and just you can talk from that poster and talk about how the energy is transferred from the sun to the producers, and then the producers on up through your apex predators, and as it goes through that food web, right? So you can talk about those things just from the picture. You don't have to have a bunch of words on your slide. So just think about how you can accurately represent the information that you want to say. You might have more words on your note card that you want to say, but please just make sure that you are not just looking at your note card when you read. Which brings us to our oral presentation part of this final product. Notice I'm looking at a level 4 again, right? All of the things that I am looking for, I'm looking for poise, voice, life, eye contact, gestures, and speed. This is exactly what you're working on with Mr. Holscher. And just because you practiced it in that class doesn't mean it's not applicable to science class, okay? These are all the same things. I would be teaching those same lessons, but since you were already doing them in English class, it just made sense that I can, review them with you quickly since you already did most of those lessons with Mr. Holscher. So poise, make sure your body is still, you're facing the audience, right? You don't have any tics or distracting behaviors. Voice means your volume is heard throughout. Life, you have fluctuation in your voice, helps with expression during your presentation. Eye contact, this one's a really important one. I know we made note cards, but you need to make sure that you're looking at the audience like at least 75% of the time, okay? You're just glancing at those notes. So keep practicing so that you don't have to just use those note cards as a crutch. Gestures, hand movements, or facial expressions that naturally enhance that presentation. And then speed, paced accurately so that everyone can understand you, okay? So these are the things that I am looking for your oral presentation. It is the PV legs that we have been working through in English class, okay? So today what I want you all to do, just within your group, you are going to do step 3 in the guided steps resource. You are deciding who's in what order, right? And then you're gonna take turns practicing your part. Make sure that you are practicing PV legs right now. So while you are presenting just in your table group, stand up during your presentation, your part, things like that. Make sure you're using those hand gestures to point to your model if needed, things like that. So utilize those public speaking skills that you've been learning in English class, okay? Just a little add-on, Mentor Day is tomorrow. I am pairing you up on Mentor Day, and I will give you a specific time when you will meet with your group pairs, but you're going to practice with another group and try to find some glows and grows to help those different groups on our team increase their scores on these different COG skill scores, so multimedia and communication or oral presentation, okay? So for K2, I've got table 2 and 3. You guys are going to present to each other tomorrow. Table 4 and 8, table 6 and 9. K2, it's table 5. You're also paired up with an Everest table 8. For Everest, table 1 and 5, table 2 and 4, table 7 and 9, and then Everest, again, you're with K2 table 5 and Everest table 8. You guys will present together, okay? So just look on our Mentor Day slides. A time slot will be put in there, and this is the group that you would be presenting to. You are just going to be mindful so that you are willing to accept this feedback while we're doing it. We're trying to be helpful, not hurtful. You're going to look for glows, things that those presenters do really well. Highlight those so they ensure to keep them in their final presentation, and then look for grows, ways that they can improve. Be sure to not only identify an area of need that they could improve on, but maybe a suggestion on how to improve it. So I might say like, hey, I noticed you had a lot of block text, but a way to improve this would be to utilize pictures or create a bulleted list instead, so that you can score higher on that rubric. Okay, but we will be doing that on Mentor Day tomorrow. Okay, so today, practice your PV legs with your group members right now, and then if you need a lunch pass, I will be back for lunch. Feel free to grab one from the sub. Thank you.